Savannah, Madam Chair, we have Stephen, David, and Alicia joining us on Zoom. Great. So we have everyone today. Wonderful.
Good morning.
Exciting day. Nice backdrop, David.
One of the finest.
Oh, yes. Or just pointing in a direction I can get. I have to just. I think you're here. Okay.
So David is going to visit, no, going to graduation, right, for his daughter. Prague, you said? Oh, no, his audio is not on.
You're on mute, David.
Audio, you need audio.
You're on mute.
Oh, now you can hear me. Yeah, no, she's not graduated. The convocation won't be till the spring, but
Oh.
she's just finished defending her thesis. So everything else now is a formality, so she can take a break.
Sounds great. Oh, we got the. Okay.
I have the bar right here. There we go. Everyone comfy, comfy.
Yes.
Good.
This is wonderful.
Thank you for this.
Everyone's here, then I can start.
Yes.
Okay, welcome everyone on the hybrid model and in person. Nice to see everyone. Today is Wednesday, September 14th. 12:05. I'd like to call the meeting for Historic Sites Board to order, and I believe Kathy has a land acknowledgement first.
Yes, I don't have it in front of me, but I would like to acknowledge that we are on the Robinson Huron Treaty territory. And in particular, acknowledge the Batchewana First Nation, Garden River, Métis, and our local Métis Council.
Thank you. On the list here, does anyone have a declaration of pecuniary interest, any conflict of interest with this agenda today?
I'm looking at the Zoom, just no hands are up there.
Okay,
Which I can get on equal.
even with glasses, I can't see her. None noted. And next, adoption of the agenda. Resolved that the agenda for Historic Sites Board meeting for September 14th, 2022 as presented be approved. We need someone to motion that.
I'll move it.
Oh, David?
Yep.
And Sandra will second it. All in favor? Carried. Adoption of the minutes. This is a result that the minutes of the Historic Sites Board meeting of July 13th, 2022 be approved. Motion. Charlotte. Seconder.
I'll
Jake.
second.
Alyssa, Jamie. All in favor? Carried. Business arising is next. The accounts.
I don't think there's anything arising that's not otherwise going to be discussed on our agenda.
Accounts.
Madam Chair, if you want, I can make comments. Everyone received the statement for July 31st in your original agenda package. And then yesterday, I just wanted to take a sneak peek to see how we were doing because you only got July 31st.
Wow.
So, after the resolution is only to approve expenditures for July 31st, which is the official statement. But I did just want to point out that, as you can see, year to date on the new one, I just emailed to everybody, as a sneak peek, is we are up in our user fees on, especially on courses. And that is a lot to do with things like our story steeped in stone this year, which is sold out every show. And the rest of the people, there are people buying tickets and not even realizing, we call them and say, what do you want tickets? And they're not coming, and they're, so they're paying to watch it on YouTube. That's okay, sure, fine.
I've been doing that too, and
Yeah.
I'm not paying.
Yeah, but we put you to work on the couch. So, and that is, a number of things, so cash bars are all in there, our ticket sales for anything. And, so, you know, we still have, this is only to the beginning of September, so we still have September to December. To finish, we're finishing the series at the end of October, but then we begin our evening in the summer kitchen and Christmas teas and those sorts of things. So local visitation for programming is up. Tourism is down. Visiting here and paying admission. Because in that courses, you'll see when we do the annual report and break it down also to cruise ships, bus tours, you know, programs. A lot of that is under courses, depending on the program they get. Because our road scholars are getting a program. They're not getting straight admission. So they come for dinner, they get a whole show, they get a cash bar. So theirs is a program. So it's hard to see until we do the breakdown at year end in the annual report. What these consist of.
This doesn't, I've always been confused, but that's okay, I'm used to it now, how many years has it been? But it isn't possible to pull out, but the catering is not a separate line item. It's always built into one of the other existing lines, like program, like.
Revenue from our food services.
Yeah, yeah.
Our lunches and dinners and whatever,
Yeah.
it's all under that course, under program.
Well, would it be under a venue rental as well?
No, a caterer renting the facility goes under there.
Oh,
We had a wedding this summer. on the
Okay.
Front lawn, and they had a caterer and everything.
Oh, nice,
This
okay.
funding that you see is that way. Just for venue rent.
Very good. Okay,
Their bar, cash bar with us is under course.
so our evenings in the summer kitchen,
I had to put somewhere.
I'm still finding confusing that our revenues are in brackets and red and.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
all
backwards.
into the office.
I know.
That's what I do. I really have a hard time with looking at these. Why do we do that?
Across the board for the city.
It
It is, because I know I looked it up, and I'm like, "But you keep doing this, and I'm like, the UK practice.
And partly because the bottom line of expenses is what goes to budget council to approve, right? So it's what it's going to cost the city to operate.
Yeah.
So I think that, and it's probably accounting procedures, you're the accountant.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
probably a proper way to do it, but I know.
I'm used to it, but I still struggle with trying to differentiate.
And I did want to make note to everybody that we do have a new cost center that I had just inquired about. When I actually looked at the details, there is under expenses a recovery line. And I just asked if I can extrapolate now out of under expenditures, we put everything under maintenance or operating for all those grants, recovery grants. And it would be nice to be able to pull that so that you see the grants in revenue, you see it under recovery. So I'm waiting for an answer so that, you know, by year end, it looks better.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah. So. We haven't received our operating grant as of yet from the province. That's 18,000. We have not received summer grant payments yet. Other than, the provincial one, the SAP grant. But- So we're still waiting for revenues.
Jamie, have a question?
No, I don't.
Okay. Any questions or comments about?
Why did I look like, I don't know, I'm thinking about getting some more tea, so I'll probably do that.
No questions or comments?
This question, I always look at pre-COVID. So, I'm just curious where we land.
That's a
And,
good question.
Yeah.
I have a comparison. And I can pull that up for the next one.
okay,
So maybe 2019 was our best
Oh,
year.
it was.
and I'm not being mean, because I know that, I think, Province of Online is doing a great job for like, pulling everything together so quickly, because we really didn't know what the future was gonna look like, right? When we started planning, but just curious, that's all.
Yeah,
If you can pull 2018 and 19, I guess for the north.
Yeah, more of a trend. And pull your worst here.
No.
I was just.
that would be around 2008. We just kept, once we built the Heritage Discovery Center and we opened year round and all
Yeah.
those things, we just. That's true.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's my only comments to clarify anything for you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Anyone out there?
I don't see anyone with their hand up.
Resolved that the Historic Sites Board approved the expenditures year to date for July 2022 as presented. Well, it's just up to September though, right?
I know, but not the official statement that you received in your agenda package is for July.
For July, that's right, okay. We need a motion to approve the expenditures year to date for July.
Anybody there? I can't see. If not,
Jamie, a seconder. Charlotte. All in favor? Carried.
And
Answer up, good. And next would be the curator's report.
How are you?
so I just really, I sent out emails to the board and volunteers and members. We've had, an average summer, our blueberry, strawberry, blueberry, and also white. We've entertained cruise ships. We've done Story Steeped in Stone performance series, which is providing, the live art some income after COVID.
I think you'll do that, or whether it's special, just for that.
So that funding from Canadian Heritage was specific to provide employment for live arts and musicians. And we'd love to do it again, but it was close to about $65,000 grant for those artists.
Wow.
So we sell tickets, and so we're getting revenue from the live audience. But it's the payment to the artists that we would have to, we'd love to do it again, but payment to artists is provide a proper honorarium. And it's not just that, it's then the crew, the behind the scenes crew. So we have lighting, sound, live streaming, director. We've had both, some shows have 3 directors. So just where we have Wendy Hamilton as our overall, and she has coordinated the whole thing from Theater in Motion. But we've had some sub-directors, Loretta Durack, will bring in maybe one person to do like a monologue to fill in. So if the main performer does not fill the whole hour that we spend with live stream and performance, then we do some filling. A few of us from here have done it, so I had to jump in and do a 3-minute every now and again. And when it's Ian or I, Nicole has done some, Mary Lynn has done some, it's a heritage kind of moment of one specific thing that may tie into what they're performing about. So the very first night was Peter White and Joel Surratt. And they're amazing. They got actually rehired. Everyone's been amazing. I shouldn't say that. Every show is amazing. But they got rehired for Rose Hall. And we've been able to tie their music, and Joel Surratt is the storyteller, who is First Nation and direct descendant from Shinwalk. So, and Rhodes Scholar, when they arrive with us, they get that show with dinner, they get to tour the site, but the next day they're at Shinwalk. So it's a nice tie on their itinerary. So we've had lots of really successful kind of programming this summer. And we're hoping to carry some of that through to the fall. So, and when we've had some of our performers have come down with COVID, and one of the other people that did an early show in that third Stephen Stone get called last minute, can you fill it in? So everyone's sort of been, maybe there's only a few that did not get called back. So we're utilizing them for other services and their talent. It's been wonderful. But the cost to, if we had to sell tickets next year and not have a grant, the price would be a lot. Yeah, to cover the cost for the other.
Is there another grant that you?
Well, not as of yet.
Not yet.
You never know. And so actually, that whole program has been paid for through Friends. So that grant went through to the Friends. It was through local festivals, building communities to arts and heritage, and that is a grant that they get every year for Fall Riding. So it was because they were past recipient, they got first allowance to apply
Oh, I didn't know that.
for their
Very
live arts.
Mm.
So they've executed it, they've written the checks,
Wow.
all those artists were paid through that group and not through the corporation. Yeah,
Well, hopefully too, if you have it next year, you can open up to a larger group. Especially if it's a ticketed admission,
mhm, yeah.
and some of us on the wait list can get in.
We're trying to.
Yeah.
You should be the bartender and you get to meet everybody. Love the show, like the bartender.
Yes.
Yeah. Up until the end of July.
Oh, yes, and then we have had people from our friends up to the bar, so. Yeah. So the lots, it's been a, sort of a reinventing year and, to bring people in, and it's because of the talents of our local artists, it's just been amazing, so. We're really excited the way things have happened and.
There's never a shortage of good arts.
No,
No.
Sandra, 2 questions if you don't mind. Out of curiosity, are you getting more people asking to participate? Because we're getting new people moving to town. I can't remember who I ran into, but she's a singer and she just moved to Sioux City. So I'm just curious, are you getting more phone calls from new people here to Sioux asking how they can get involved or anything?
we've had a number of people ask to volunteer,
Okay,
that are moving to Sioux.
okay,
So, but nothing beyond that, and if it's a new artist of some sort,
yeah,
unfortunately, because it was a federal grant, it had to be allocated and done by a certain date, right?
Yeah.
So it went as a call
Okay.
out. For the starts. So, but as we, I mean, as people introduce themselves to us, we always keep them in mind.
Do we have like a running list of artists to contact? Should you have an event? Like even for one of the lunches, if you wanted to highlight an artist, you have a list that you can just call to. Of various types of artists, music, theater. Just having a running list of knowing who to contact.
We have not, but our new arts and culture coordinator is working on that massive list.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, there's a whole inventory of artists of all time
Yeah.
and organizations. So it's not just single people
Yeah.
or bands or whatever.
So
Or-
if someone else doing that.
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
If they're in the city, then you can have.
And we network, so coming to the fall rendezvous, which the Friends of have the funding for. They, in order to, as you can see, anyone that, I put this out on all emails, so that group got it too. Anyone, you probably noticed this individual for our preserving workshop next weekend. For Harvest Fest and Culture Day, came through to us through Rain. So Rain and By Algoma were members of that.
Yeah.
I reached out to them and actually it was Charlotte. Charlotte went to Preserving 101 already. And we were talking one day and so I immediately called Rain and By Algoma and said, I heard you did your workshop and it was very successful. So he's coming back and we're offering it next weekend, which is perfect timing for Harvest Fest.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
fabulous workshop, great personality, had a large group and had an extensive meeting list. And a lot of people are asking for more advanced time. I was not one of them, but some people were. And so you're offering both. which is
we are doing
Wow.
101 again and then the pressure canning in the afternoon.
And with all different types, like there's young people there right up until 80. And lots of experience can it further and learn something new. And then they have giveaways and which is really good.
Yeah.
Like excellent and material that we can bring home.
So-
I hope to sign up.
Yeah, so our networking helps, and so. If it's not an artist or someone, then we can reach out to our arts and culture group, then we reach out to other organizations that we're partnering with, so we do have Rain. By Algoma, I'm trying to think of how many others, but we belong to a lot of organizations.
So I received some communication from other groups
Yeah,
and then I posted it on Seeds for Change Facebook page of gardeners, of new gardeners.
yes, oh yeah,
Might be
we're
interested
part
in-
of the horticultural society, all of those, so. Yeah, there's a lot,
Did a lot sign up for this? I mean,
I don't know what we're at yet today.
Okay, I wanted to
Yeah.
check that. There was a few people that I know that wanted to sign up for these.
So we can check today on the, it's all through ActiveNet, so
Right.
people can sign up online
Keep going.
or come in and register. So we, again, are. A lot is done with the assistance of our Friends of Group and funding that they receive, so. This summer through Stories, Student Stone performances. Festivals, all funding through Friends. So that's nice. So we will, when we get to Fall Rendezvous next week. All the reenactors that come, the cannon's gonna fire. I warned the bush plane that, every 10 minutes. You're in time.
Yeah, for the.
And we are back to face with the schools, so we will have 16 bus loads a day on Wednesday and Thursday.
This Wednesday and Thursday?
A week today. And Thursday, I mean, that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is Culture Day kickoff. Which we're part of with this festival, but the kickoff's at the library at 10 a.m. And then Saturday with all this extra with the workshops and all around it will continue, and Goma's Maker Market will be in Heritage Park. So, and the museum is also doing things in partnership, and so I think somewhere either they or us will host, we're hoping, they haven't officially said yet, but Scottish dancers, and a few other things that will be going on as well, so, yeah. Busy week.
Scottish dances in a long time.
I was one from the child, I was like 16. Yeah,
You go to the first time, you
yeah.
loved it.
Oh.
No, you put root in it, the Catherine's house.
Yes. They meet now at the museum.
Great. Yeah, the museum's looking great. I love that they pull down all the curtains. Like it's just, it opens it right up when you see it on the corner of the building, and we had only did that a while back. I'm still amazed that such a simple thing made such a difference.
And just on all of that and our conversation about Canadian Heritage, they will be here in person on Monday. So our contacts with Canadian Heritage Virginia and I are meeting with on site. I'm assuming we'll be doing a review of what we did with the recovery funds. But we wanted to also, since they're gonna be here, we're gonna talk about future plans and applications, so, yeah, good for us and the museum.
And the Friends?
Well, it could be, because they're one of the applicants.
Right.
Always is successful, but,
So is that on Monday?
Monday afternoon, yes,
Did you know that now that a federal,
I know,
it's
So-
federal,
I'm waiting to hear if they've canceled or not. Yes, it's Federal Day morning for the Queen's funeral. Yeah.
If I may,
Sandra.
so volunteering, what spots do you desperately need people?
Depends on your day of availability.
So maybe we talk after. but
Yes.
I would love to see where you're like, oh my gosh, how many people? So,
Every day, just greeters, the safety of the front stairs, this, because we're going to have, we don't have a railing up yet. We just finished that restoration, so, with. I forget how many numbers of children or grade 7 students on Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, so it will be a bit of chaos, so there's all kinds of little things to do.
okay.
And we have 20 minutes to feed and water and break for the reenactors in between bus loads at morning and afternoon, so, yeah.
Because Wednesday, I'm pretty much wide open.
Okay.
We can talk.
Yeah,
offline.
we'll, after the meeting, we'll take all volunteers.
Okay. And the roads, how many more times are they visiting this year?
Road Scholar.
Yeah.
This Friday and Friday of Rendezvous
Okay,
tomorrow.
2 months, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, quite a variety. Thanks for sharing that. Next is Municipal Heritage Committee. Do you have information for us, Alyssa or Jamie?
I can talk about the Doors Open. So the Doors Open event is October 1st, it's a Saturday. I think we're up to about 14 sites at this point. There's one more that needs to be confirmed, but, or one that is, I expect to come off the list, quite frankly, but anyway, so I had an amazing tour with 3 architects and 2 staff members at the Ontario Forestry Research Institute. And that was the one, there were 2 buildings I wanted to get into, and that was one of them. So Harvey and David Ellis made sure that I was included in the email. So I've had a 2-hour tour of that building. I know everything about it, but oh my goodness, it's the whole thing just gives me goosebumps. I can't wait. there's the Shinwalk University is gonna be open, Shinwalk Hall.
Sorry for interrupting, their grand opening of the new building is the day before.
Yes, and I learned, and I haven't told Virginia yet, that, there's an employee from the Ontario Heritage Trust who I've been corresponding with about Doors Open. And he's coming up for that event, and
Oh.
he's staying over and attending the Doors Open event as well,
Fantastic.
David Leonard. So I need to tell Virginia that, well, you guys can tell her too, so I'd love to meet him, you know, he's been very encouraging, so. I'm very excited about our event and how many sites we have open, there's, I think, 5 virtual sites. And 13 or 14 in-person sites, and. We have, there's the website we keep pointing people to is the provincial Doors Open website. And then Nicole and I are running social media, on Facebook and Instagram. So if any of you are on Facebook and Instagram, you should like our page and follow it and share every posting that you see, and then I take the Facebook stuff because I don't do Instagram, but I take all of that and share it out to, you know, what's going on in the Sioux and old memories and all, you know, all the local groups that are heritage on Facebook. And so we'll see that Virginia's going to put out a press release. And then I want to follow that with, by contacting, you know, David Hellwig and some of the local media and just see if we can get some stories going. But so it's gonna happen. This is one of the 2 things, when I went back to that committee, or when I applied for it on the last cycle, I wanted to do the calendar and the Doors Open. So those are my to-do list. And this is the second thing, so.
She's
It's
accomplished them now.
And we're looking for volunteers, so if anybody's interested in, we have some high school students from Cora that are going to be earning volunteer hours that day. And we're going to ask them primarily to conduct visitor surveys, because we're going to have an online survey. And they can, you know, do it either online or on paper and then enter and like do a Survey Monkey kind of thing. And so that will be a lot of what the students do, and they could, the teacher suggested they could be taking pictures during the day. And we can share, that both can be shared on social media. So I might spend the whole day in front of a computer just sharing pictures. I don't know how that's gonna work. And I'm out at the airport at 8 o'clock delivering somebody to an airplane, but yeah, it's gonna be a busy day. And we'll probably put the signs up Friday evening or Friday afternoon. And Virginia and I are coordinating on that, and we're gonna have about 40 signs, and apparently we get to keep them.
And we have the previous,
I know.
the yellow vinyl ones here.
So you're gonna have to decide whether you're gonna store these ones, throw out the ones from 2004. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll
They're
see what
not, there's no year on them.
No, there, but yeah, we'll see. So there's lots going on. But it'll all be over. Nicole keeps telling me a month from now, Jamie, it will all be over. When I start, you know, wringing my hands, so. So Bradley has been working on the flyers, and he sent me 2 of them. He sent me 2, and they've both been approved by Krista McCracken, so we're good to go. What are the other sites? There's the Canal District, the Canal. The Canal District is an outside event, and there are going to be 2 virtual events, and one is in the loft at the Algoma Conservatory, and the other is, and it's online now. And Melissa Porco is going to have another timeline video to run, and then Mr. Guy Traficante is going to be giving tour of clerk's office. I've already had a tour of clerk's office, but I mean,
That's
there's
great
so many
experience.
things that are just, oh my goodness, the courthouse is the one that I would like to see the inside of, but we're not sure whether they're going to get permission to do that on a Saturday because of overtime and security, and so I'm waiting to hear back from them. And the library archivist is doing a presentation. There's 2 events happening across the street at the Bush Plain and Tom. Yeah, so it's just, there's a million things going on, and one person couldn't possibly get to every building in one day. Yeah, Bishopshurst, oh, it's just, wonderful. There any questions about Doors Open?
I just.
Another day we need volunteers to scatter around.
Yeah, well, I didn't put you down on my volunteer list, because I thought your friends of would be,
We'll be asking for board members and friends out for that.
Oh, will
day
you?
here, so,
okay.
Yeah.
I won't be here that day. I can guarantee you. We're also doing property inspections on Tuesday. Dean Greenwood and I are doing that, so. Alicia, I can't remember if there's anything else from our agenda that I've missed.
Yes, in regards to the Heritage Award, nominations for the 2022 Municipal Heritage Committee Heritage Award are now being accepted. Forms are available online, saultestmarie.ca/awards. The deadline for the nominations is October 15th at 4:30. So that's, we're trying to circulate that around, and so community members, anybody in the community who knows anyone, welcome to nominate someone in the Heritage.
Great, thank you.
I forgot about that, thank
Me
you.
too, yeah.
Thanks, Jamie. Is there other new business or?
These aren't, it's not new business, it's just more information that I'd like to share. Because I forgot during the curator's report is that we have an assistant curator now. Whew. And so we are actually have just applied to Canadian Heritage for a digital access grant. And if we get any of it, it'll start in January, which we then as a group, as board members, have to look at a digital strategy, but a consultant in the grant application. The strategy takes a look at what we want to do to digitize the collection and have digital inventory of whether it be videos or still photos or whatever for other purposes. So not just digitizing the collection, but for social media, all of those things. So it's a global strategy on digital access. And, but it will help us. It would be phase 1. Phase 2 is a grant that can go in November, ready for halfway through that next. It's staging the grants to Canadian Heritage, because stage 2 would allow us, if we receive that funding, to actually work on the collection. So we have started to reorganize, and the archival room in my office is all different. We're trying to take it in, start an inventory, and to see what's else in the attic that needs to come down, because at some point we have been approved for funding from the municipality to replace the roof. Oh yeah, and that's been saved and put on hold because we like to apply to cultural spaces with Canadian Heritage to do both roofs, the blockhouse and this one, and a few other things. So, and that allows us a bit of time to get artifacts out of the attic. Because we do have asbestos, we might have to abate when we do the roof. So it's kind of, and the assistant curator has just been a great asset over the last couple of weeks, and will be as we move forward, because 2 full-time staff just can't. And I never have time to pay attention to what the reason why we're here, and that's the artifacts. So. So that's the good news. And on the same note, the Bush Plane has just hired a curator, which we're really excited about, because that curator came from the Ontario Museum Association. Oh my gosh. So very knowledgeable. And the last project is the Living History of Algoma, which is Algoma 1812. Rejuvenated into a more global group, nonprofit group. Also encompasses oral history sustainability. Has just completed with Kristen McCracken and Shinwa 35 oral history of the survivors.
Oh, my God.
So those, not all 35, I think 25 are going to be available on the library. All oral histories that group does goes to the library archives and get put up on the library database. So you can actually, when you're searching for a book, you can search for an oral history and online. So I think 25 are going on that database and available for.
Wow. Yeah.
There are a few that don't want theirs to be public.
Is that National Library or?
It's just agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, someday you never know where those may go and but that little group applied for a digital access curriculum through libraries, and Canadian Heritage to do that project. So it's just been completed. That too.
May I make a comment? I know it's so new, but that's incredible. Like 25, wow. So, right. Is there a way that hypothetically we can make a note in the parking lot? So when the cruise ships come next year, maybe they can access if they're up and running. Because I know the cruise ships are so interested in Indigenous history. It would be nice if we can somehow tell the cruise ships as they're coming to the city, like within a day or two, they can, download and listen to get all hyped up and excited about coming to Sault Ste. Marie. You know what I mean?
We'll take that away from let the team know.
Yeah, if you don't mind, and that could be part, because I know, I can be wrong, but I know that the cruise ship, they basically do lectures before they land at a port. And that can be part of the lecture saying, hey, there's hypothetically 25 that you can listen into. And that's good. It's a small micro idea.
Yeah, and we've been telling now all the Rose Scholar group because they come to us, they get Peter White and Bill, Joe Surratt,
Yeah,
then they go to Shinwalk the next day.
yeah,
So we've been telling them that after,
yeah.
when they become uploaded onto the library website, they can actually access those,
We're gonna.
because a lot of Rose Scholar is Elder Hostel,
Okay,
the original name. So they're here to learn.
yeah.
Yeah,
Super awesome.
yeah.
May I ask another question? The window,
The broken window
Yeah.
up front,
any updates on that?
it's been taken away to be fixed
Okay,
and
see what happens. Okay.
it's being done by Public Works, so.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
they came, they got the framing,
Yeah,
so that's from a break and enter.
yeah. Nervous.
So I can further comment on that, since you have that question, is we did have a couple of break and enters this summer. And so we have, as you know, because we approved it at one of the earlier meetings, we applied for recovery funding.
Yeah.
Canadian Heritage. Boy, I didn't come. It's just based on the operating grant, remember it was 8% or something.
Yes,
And so if that one comes through, there are two things on the top of the list. One is surveillance cameras, and the second is the projectors in the theater.
okay.
They go, we're down to one. Single screen, luckily, when they say back up the computer, we backed up that whole show onto the single screen. And, but it's worked out this year, no one will ever know, because we left the performance stage up in the theater, so. When people come, we tell them, oh, we're down to single screen because we also do live performance, so. And, so those are the top two things, then there'll be some other things with that. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's great. Any other comments on all this information? Hi, Kathy, do you see anyone up there?
I'm looking, I don't see any hands raised on our Zoom for board members.
Okay, then I believe the next meeting is October 13th, it's not there, but
Tell the story, yeah.
that'd be just after Thanksgiving.
I did type it into Easter. It is
It's
October,
October.
second Wednesday.
Yeah, second week. So we'll adjourn if everything's okay.
So that's October 13th?
Uh,
That's a Thursday or the October
It-
11th?
It's the Wednesday, so
Oh,
whatever the
12th,
Wednesday, we don't.
okay, October 12th. Thank you.
Do you need a mover for adjournment?
Yes, we need to, for the committee now to adjourn, we need a motion.
Do you want me to move that?
Alicia.
There we go.
Okay, and a seconder? Jamie? Jamie?
Yeah.
Okay. So the committee now adjourns.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kathy, can I ask you to hold back? I got a couple of issues with rendezvous I'd like to go over with you.
Sure, I will try and stop the YouTube live for the board meeting. Hold on.
Have a good afternoon, everyone.
Thanks, Alicia.
Take
Thanks,
care, everybody.
thanks, Stephen.
Wow.